Hi everyone, it's Avril here. Great to be with you tonight again. I hope you're all well and I've had a magical week. I don't know about any of you if you've noticed how today the weather seems to be changing. There's been lots of news reports about the weather taking a turn for the worse, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it stays fine because I have a busy weekend ahead. Well, I hope you're all wrapped up warm and cosy for tonight's trance. Tonight we are going to be going into trance and connecting at a deeper level with our call. Um, One of the things that I work quite a lot with people on is helping them to find their purpose and call in life. And I use generative trance to help people realign and reconnect with what that is for them. You know, we actually have many different calls in our life, and we are here to do many different things. Some people are fortunate enough to just know as a child what their purpose is, and they're called to go and do that very thing, and are able to work towards that call in their life. For others, the journey is quite different, and we're often called to do many, many different things. And it's important to be aware and awake to that call. Sometimes when we're unaware and we are not living consciously and connecting consciously with everything around us, we can actually miss what that call might be all about. Many people that I work with who do miss that call and don't feel connected to their purpose often find themselves in jobs that cause them a lot of disharmony, or even just generally doing things in their life that doesn't sit well with them, or doesn't feel right. So one of the things that we do when we're working together, particularly in breakthrough sessions, is look at what their call might be and how they can connect to that in a different way. I have an interesting kind of way of approaching this, and I'm sure many other people approach it like this. The way I approach connecting with our call is to encourage my clients to think about the very things that they loved to do as a child in their playtime. You know, what did you do as a child that you absolutely loved doing? And when you can take some time out to really think about that and understand how that can transform into adult life, then you can be far closer to connecting with your call. For example, when I was a child, I loved to walk. I absolutely loved walking. I liked being out in nature, and I had dogs, and I would take the dogs and walk for miles and miles. And when I first started thinking about this concept about connecting to my call and what I liked to do in childhood, initially I thought it had something to do with walking because I absolutely adored walking. But in actual fact, when I stopped to think about it, it was the freedom that that walking gave me, the freedom to just be me in a way where there was no boundaries, no one to judge or criticise or anything like that. But also, whilst I was walking, I used to sing, and I used to talk to myself, tell stories to the dogs and all sorts of things. So it's quite interesting now that when I look back on that time, and I can connect that all the way full circle to what I'm doing today. And what I do today is talking to people, helping people transform their lives through language, through the use of words. It may be quite different to walking hills or walking in the park with a dog, but there is actually a lot of similarities. So if you can start to make connections with some of the things that you loved to do as a child and link them back into some of the things you may enjoy doing as an adult, you can begin to make that connection to what your purpose and call in life may be. And that is a curious thing to do. I would challenge you to take some time after this session tonight to give that some thought and give it a little reflection and see what transpires. So with that in mind, connecting with our call is what we're going to be working on tonight. So whenever you're ready, we'll go straight into trance again, because we're now at that stage where we can get into a really full and purposeful trance and make use of this whole time together. So whenever you're ready, you just simply find your way to relax into yourself, and you know your own way by now, and you know the process. Just take a nice deep breath in and relax. And as you're doing that and becoming focused on the now, this moment, excuse me, I've been doing a lot of talking today again. Excuse me again. Yeah, while you're becoming focused in the now and on that moment, if you have anything you'd like to share via the page, then feel free to do so. But just become really present in this moment now. And allow yourself to settle in and settle down into your own space, in your own way. And tonight, there'll be no formal intention set, so to speak. What I'd like you to do is to simply work with whatever comes up. So as you settle in there right now, maybe things are beginning to pop up in your mind about your purpose, whether you've been on many different journeys in your purpose to date, or you've been on the same one since young adulthood. It doesn't matter. Just be curious. Be curious about what that purpose is now, and what you may be being called into now at this time in your life. What you're being called to be and do, and how you can shape your own part of the world that you live in. What gifts do you feel drawn to share in this lifetime, in this moment? What do you feel called to do now? And as you begin to connect with that, you can make these connections in many different ways. And tonight in trance, in this meditation, you can begin building the foundations. And whatever area you choose, and in whatever way you wish, because there's no right or wrong. There are only choices. And you can make any choice you wish at any time in your own mind. You can do that. So take another nice deep breath in and out. And become aware. Become aware of the space at the top of your head. And you can use a pebble or a symbol by means of helping you to align and connect in this natural way. And as you become aware of your symbol, hovering gently, at the very top of your head. You can sense and feel and see what that may represent for you. It can be full, or it may just be a symbol that you hold dear to you. Just allow yourself, excuse me, to become aware of it and listen to the sound of my voice, allowing my voice to take you wherever it is you need to go. And allowing your symbol to rest gently whilst you become aware the top of your head and all the muscles and then around the top of your scalp, and notice them, how they can soften and relax at any time. And imagine that little space opening up at the top of your head. Just big enough to receive your symbol. And if you like, you can imagine this as your crown chakra opening up. You can imagine it to be anything you want. As it gently opens this spot, top of your head, to receive your symbol. And just begin to imagine now your symbol dropping in and down through your cognitive mind. Just imagine it slowly and gently, excuse me, slowly and gently dropping in to your thinking mind, where all the work is done. Maybe you've had a busy week and been stuck in that head and stuck in that mind. So you can let your symbol or your pebble drop in and simply dissolve into that space, that thinking space, where it can gently rest and take its time to find its own centre, wherever that may be. Allowing it to rest easily and rest gently. And there's nothing to do in the mind. And there's nothing to do in the body except relax now. And a thought's simply a thought. They can just come and go. And you can be aware of them like an observer, being curious. That's interesting. That thought. And as you observe anything that pops in, Just be curious and say to yourself, that's interesting. And as your symbol settles in ever more gently to that space, you can begin to sense a slowing down in some way of your cognitive mind, your thinking mind. Maybe you can begin to become aware of a quietness that you can feel or sense in your own mind. Or maybe it is just that time is beginning to slow down a little as you settle into the very centre of that thinking mind. And aren't you curious what it might be like if you could see in that mind, walk in that mind? Maybe you could imagine yourself as a tiny person inside your own mind, exploring and wandering around, and maybe even observing all your own neural connections. You could maybe even be curious as to how you could slow all that noise down. Slow the pictures down and slow the sounds down. I wonder if you can do that. And as you do this, with your awareness, take your attention to that point at the base of your skull where your spine connects. And begin to become aware of that opening in your spine, and how it looks just like a straw. And as you're in your own mind already with your symbol, maybe you could imagine for tonight what it would look like to look down and through your own spine. As if you were peering through a telescope. The lens of a camera. Take a look and look down. And that's a curious thing, being inside yourself. Looking and sensing and feeling what it is to be in here now. And you can take a nice deep breath in now. And breathe in and down through your spine. Breathe in and all the way down and out through your spine. And you can allow yourself to relax even more now, even more than a moment before, relaxing and settling in and settling down. And there's nothing to do in the body except relax now. And there's nothing to do in the mind. There's nothing to cling to. You can relax in your own way and in your own time. Breathing in and down through your spine. Become aware of that other you in your mind. And I'd like to invite you to take hold of your symbol. And drop that symbol down, all the way down through your spine, dropping it in gently and easily as you breathe in and down, using your own awareness to align all the tiny vertebrae that travel up and down the very length of your spine, travelling up and down as you go even deeper inside yourself. And your awareness can simply float on down, making connections in whatever way it needs to. That's right. Allowing it to simply drop and find its centre, wherever that may be. And maybe you're beginning to notice as the days and the weeks transform. Maybe you're beginning to notice where your centre occurs naturally in your own somatic body, deep in your own unconscious mind. And you can become aware of that anytime you wish. As you centre and align your mind, your thinking mind, and your somatic body, aligning and centering that conscious and unconscious mind, opening up the connections between the two, realizing and re-establishing the communication of one to the other. That's right. Center and align, and allow yourself to simply breathe and relax deep inside your own being, your own consciousness. As you settle in and settle down with your symbol, your inner awareness in your own guidance system that's opening up and calling to you to make that connection. And I'd like you to imagine, whenever you're ready, that you can, in this place, open up to a different awareness. In this simple place now, you can expand your awareness and open up into your own quantum field that connects you to the collective consciousness that's all around you. So whenever you're ready, allow your awareness to expand all around you from the center point, the center and aligned point. Let it expand and open wide. Open as far as you can, as far as infinitely as possible. Really open up tonight and step into that field, this web of consciousness. Become aware of being in the very center of this, the epicenter. You connected to everything around you. And as you sit or stand here, or just sense yourself in this place, I'd like to invite you to take a look around, to sense everything around you, and ask yourself this question: what am I called to be and do in my life right now, at this moment in time? What am I being called to do right now? Simply ask the question. You can allow the answers to come or not to come. It's entirely up to you. This isn't about answers. This is about awareness and connection. What am I being called to do right now? And as you ask yourself this question, I'd like you to invite forward your own personal council of resources. I want you to really expand your awareness and imagine that you are in the middle of this web of consciousness, and on the periphery that you perceive from this place, there is space for a whole council of resources to step in and help you. Your guides, your advisors, all of them are there. And I'd like you to invite them all forward, each and every one of them. There may be many, many different guides stepping forward. And there may only be one or two. Whatever comes into your experience will be just right. So in your quantum field, infinite possibilities, new realities, and new ways of being and doing, as the stars in the galaxy speed by around you, notice the guides that step forward. Whoever and whatever they are. Maybe they're symbols or people from the past, people from the future, people from other worlds, other planets, maybe other beings. Or maybe it's simply voices you hear, echoes from the past and the future, whispering to you gently, caressing your soul with their collective energy, gently guiding and supporting you. And all the while, what are you being called to do here in this life now? Whispers to you in this place. And your guides, your mentors, your council of resources walks with you now, whispering and guiding and leading the way, leading you forward into this existence. All you have to do right now is expand your awareness and open your heart to receive this deeper knowledge, this deeper wisdom, and connect with your call, your purpose. As you align and center, you can leave all doubts behind. You can let them go now. Old beliefs that have stopped you making that connection. In this place, you can see the real truth of those old beliefs, those old doubts. You can see the transparency of them, the shallowness, and you can begin to acknowledge the depths of your purpose and your call that's been witnessed and supported by your own counsel of resources. Look now, they are all around, bringing information to you in many different ways, sharing knowledge and words, both spoken and unspoken. This can resonate with you at the deepest level, both the known and the unknown. There is much, much more beyond the words that we speak, beyond the words that we hear. There is an inner knowing, an inner calling within each and every one of us that sits there silently, waiting to be opened up, or like a flower waiting for the sun so it can turn its head and open itself to reveal the beauty within. Listen to what the whispers are giving you. And become aware of this moment in time now. And as you look around at your own council of resources, you can begin to imagine that if you were to see this call right now, what would it look like? What would it feel like? What would you be doing? What would your purpose be? And you can step out and imagine and connect with that now. Who would be with you on this path? Who do you need to meet in order to help you? And what do you need to let go of in order for you to take your call out into the world, to connect with all the beauty around you, and to connect with your own inner beauty and being? Where do you go with this now? What steps are you taking? What new realizations and learnings will unfold? You can float up and up and away, and begin to observe yourself from a different perspective. Maybe you can float up and away to another galaxy, far, far away, and look down on yourself in this world today, taking your call and living and being and doing what you're really meant to be doing now. Or maybe you can simply imagine yourself in some future time doing something different, or maybe doing something the same, but in a different way, in a more purposeful way, in a more connected way than you've ever done before, with meaning. Take a look around, sense and feel all that is there. And ask your council of resources for their wisdom, for their gifts and guidance. They can give this to you anytime. Little insights that pop up as the hours transform into days and the days transform into weeks and the weeks transform into months. You can become aware of new ideas and new insights that help you to take inspired steps that move and propel you closer to your purpose, closer to your call. And everything is wakening up inside now. It's alive and growing. And as it comes forth into this light, these new connections can be made. These new transformations. Realigning, transforming at a generative level. New understandings. No matter what stage you are in life, you can always awaken time and time again and transform and be called at any point in your life. Allow yourself to step into that vortex of transformation. Receive it. Feel it rising up through you. Your call. Feel it traveling through the deepest part of your being. Flowing through all the blood in your veins like oxygen being pumped through your entire body. As you breathe, with each breath you can begin to feel the power of your own call, the power of your purpose. You can feel it in every part of your body at a deep cellular level, expanding outwards as you sit here, stand here now in the epicenter of your web of collective consciousness. You can feel it beating in time with your own heartbeat. You can see it in whatever way is right for you, and you can hear it. whispering, whispering to you to join, to connect. It is time to step forward into your reality, your infinite possibility, your infinite being. And you can take your call, your purpose, in whatever way you wish to take it. You can hold it in your hand. You can hold it in your hand like a gift. You can hold it in your hand as if it's something so precious. As you would hold something that's so valuable to you, the most precious gift in the world. As you would hold your lover or child, or your friend or parent, hold it there in your hand. Gently, lovingly and compassionately nurture it and feel it resonate. Feel the energy and the warmth that it carries and contains. This call has a story to tell the world, and it's ready now to find its place. It's ready now to step forward and be all that it can be, and do all that it can do. In this moment and in this time, this is your moment now. So draw that call in. Draw it into the very centre of your heart. Feel it whisper to you deeply. And allow it to rest gently there. As it centres and aligns in your cognitive mind, in your somatic body, as it centres and aligns, both consciously and unconsciously. And as this alignment allows you to make all the new neural connections, that's important for its transformation, its preparation for being brought into this world. Just like a baby, how it sleeps silently inside, being nourished and nurtured by you until it's ready, until it has all the right nutrients it needs, until it's grown to be strong and ready to take its place in this world. Allow it to rest a while, Because as the days transform into weeks and the weeks transform into months, your call will have awakened. I'll have been brought into this world in whatever way it feels compelled to be and do. And you can take a moment to give thanks, to all around you. Give thanks to your council of resources. And notice who they are. And notice who stayed or who left. And the gifts that they gave you. The guidance, the inspiration, the love, and the peace, and the inner knowing that you are called to do something of great importance in your life. And that something is now settling deep within your being, deep within your heart, ready to flourish, to open at any time now. When it does, you'll simply know. You'll simply know what to do and when to do it, and more importantly, how. Because you can connect. You can connect in this way anytime now. And the knowledge and the answers will be there whenever you need them. So give thanks once again to your council of resources. And allow them to drift back into their own world, drift back into their own time in this collective consciousness. Let them drift back as you settle in and settle down again into you, into your own abundance, your own place of peace, centered and aligned in the conscious and unconscious mind. In a place of deep compassion. And you can be aware of your own expansion, your own growth as a result of this time. And you can allow yourself as much time as you need here to make the new neural connections and transformations that are occurring at a generative level. And you can accept all that wonderful feeling of positivity, support, encouragement, and love now. You can accept it, and you can allow it to flow through your entire being. As you consciously choose your own path and your own call. So just take a few minutes here now, and you can make a silent vow or commitment to yourself. I promise that. Whatever it is, you can do that now and rest in this place for a few moments. Inner peace, inner connection, and inner knowing. And gently taking a deep breath in and out again at your own rate and speed. Begin to bring your awareness back in from the field, all the way back into your body, into your mind, coming back and beginning to waken up from the tips of your toes all the way up to the top of your head, wakening up, feeling good and feeling grounded and energized and ready to begin to take that call, to take that purpose out into the world in a new way, a way that resonates deeply for you. So welcome back into the world. Well, I hope you enjoyed the generative trance tonight. That was a full trance on connecting with your call. So for the next day or two, simply be curious. Be curious as to what pops up. I know I say this every week. If you have a journal, this is the ideal opportunity to take notes and jot things down and just begin to become aware of new things that happen, maybe new ideas that pop into your head, or maybe even little coincidences. I always say if you see something only once, it doesn't really have any meaning. But if you see something 2 or 3 times, then that's something speaking to you. It wants you to take notice. So become aware of things like that. Maybe signs or symbols that you see as you're walking down the streets, on billboards, all sorts of different places. Or maybe topics of conversations that you find yourself involved in more than once, or just information that you come across. If you come across it more than once, then I would encourage you to take notice, because there's something in this for you. And I often find when we're working with our call and working with our purpose, that's exactly what happens. We begin to see new patterns and make new connections with things that are often different or new to us or unexplained. So I really encourage you to use a journal and jot things down so you can look back at later time and smile and go, oh wow, that's amazing, because it's a wonderful feeling. Well, I think that's us for the evening. I hope you enjoyed the trance tonight. I've done a double recording as always, so that will be available in the next day or so. My intention is to still get this out as quickly as possible. However, due to the size of the download, it does take quite a while to upload it onto YouTube. It'll be definitely available for you by Saturday, that's for sure, if not before. So have a wonderful week, everybody. You know where to get me. Oh, and before I forget to say, I have a couple of free meditations coming up. I've got one for New Year. I have a Generative Trance meditation that I'm going to be hosting on the 31st of December 2013, and that's for New Year. I will do a double recording of that, so the meditation starts at 7:30 for an hour. If you can't make it, the recording will be available. The other thing that I have coming up that you may be interested in is a Manifesting Abundance online workshop. Well, it's an online call actually, it's not a workshop. Basically what I'm going to be doing is taking you through my 8 steps, and these are my own personal 8 steps that I have used to help me bring all my dreams and goals into reality over the last few years, and really to manifest them and make them happen. And these 8 steps have been designed around my own personal learnings, whether it's been learning from experiences, both good and bad, or learnings from other people, other teachers, or even books that I've read. And what I've done is I've shaped them into 8 steps that I have consciously used probably for definitely the last 10 years of my life, if not more. And I have achieved a huge amount, and I well and truly have manifested abundance using this approach. So I am going to be hosting that on the 12th of December, and I will be talking you through these 8 steps and sharing some more stuff with you on that night. So if you want to get booked, you can book yourself on either of these free seminars via my website, which is newlandspersonaldevelopment.com, or you can find the event pages on Facebook, or you can simply drop me an email and I will register you for either both events or one of the events or whatever you choose. So have a great week, and I would love it if you could join me on these other events. It'd be great to have you there, and I shall speak to you all next week. Lovely. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you all next week. Bye.